Okay.
So, yeah, you're live. Okay, hi guys. So today Oscar came together with me. I'm his mom because we have something really interesting to share. A story, how Oscar got dead bees, and then I will share the story. What usually in countries where people practice traditional medicine, which is like folk medicine, what people do, how the beekeepers use the dead bees, and I have here my things, and we're gonna finish this. This is the recipe that we're gonna just make here together, and we thought it's gonna be easy, and so this is why Oscar decided to go live. And now, first, let's start. Oscar, tell how it started, like tell what happened, how you got the dead bees, because look, so first of all, I'm gonna say that it appears that Oscar the beekeeper, his mom, me, was born and raised, lived for 20 years. First 20 years of my life I lived in Russia, and so in Russia, uh, it's very famous. People practice traditional medicine. It's like the same as a Chinese traditional medicine. And I can also say that actually, like in America, people are familiar with Chinese traditional medicine. But Russian traditional medicine is just the same. In Chinese traditional medicine, they use 2000 herbs, and they use different like rocks, elements, insects, poisons. So in Russian traditional medicine, it's all the same, all the recipes are the same. Just Russia was always very closed, and so it's not that famous. So in Russian traditional medicine, there's lots of different recipes that include bees or bee products. And one of those products is called, in Russian language, it's called Podmor. And actually, if you Google that word, if you just Google with, you use Latin uh, letters like you write in English, but the Russian word Podmor, Podmor, then the will give you all the information about it. Podmor is the extract, alcoholic extract, that is made from dead bees. And so I have to say also that this video is only for the educational and entertainment purposes. So just in case, because there's some extreme people who have different diseases, and then they deny conventional medicine and they go all in and make their own recipes. So whenever you do something like this, you should consult, talk to your doctor, and it's good to combine maybe traditional medicine with the conventional medicine. But now, so be careful. But after this, I have to say that Podmor is used in Russian traditional medicine in a like wide variety of different diseases, I would say. And even people use it to ease their sufferings and diseases like with cancer and like different. But you know what? Just Google it, because right now we live in the age when Google is so advanced. And when I just use a Google and in the search I just wrote dead bees extract, just write in the Google dead bees extract, and you will see all the information, and you will see how even in Google calls it Podmor, and you will read everything about it with the pictures and everything. I also have an iPad. Just give me 1 second. I was supposed to have it before we started live stream, but kind of forgot. So I just wanted to make an example with that information. Like when I take my iPad and then I just go to Google and I write down in Google dead bees extract, like the first thing it tells me how to make it and what is that, and it gives like really huge information about that, so you don't even need, and it says about all the diseases that it is used for. And so, but there is one trick. The bees that used for that Podmor, the best is to use the bees that didn't die through the winter, because we beekeepers, we know that we lose bees during the winter, like let's say in the north, here in upstate New York. If there are lots of different reasons. I wanted to say if you like improperly winterized bees, but sometimes it's not the beekeeper's fault. We know that. And so they die through the winter, or they die because of the mite diseases. And like you can use those bees, but it's not the perfect one. These bees are not the perfect, not the best. The best bees to use when they died during the summer, when they are in the peak of their vital energy, vital forces, when they are like really healthy. And so honestly, the traditional people who like, you know, keep the ancient traditions, they don't use the dead bees, but they would kill the hive in that purpose to make that Podmor, that medicine, that extract. But it's like, of course, you will say, oh my gosh, it's so harsh, you know, to kill the hive. And I agree with that. It's the same as, you know, you have chickens, you raise chickens for food and then you kill them. So there could be reasonable purposes, like, you know, if you need to make that potent medicine, and so you have to sacrifice. And so we got lucky. We got lucky. Oskar will tell the story how we got those perfectly healthy but dead bees, and we got the whole hive. And Oskar will tell in a second how we got them. And so when I finally, like, I will tell the end of the story. So here I am with the whole bucket of, like, the whole hive, the whole 5-gallon bucket of dead bees. So I went to my local liquor store and I bought grain alcohol. I think it was like high proof grain alcohol. And so what I did also, you have to dry the bees. You have to keep them, like, you know,
Spread them out on the table.
yeah, I used this table. I spread all the bees here and like kept them for like 2-3 days under the fan. And so, and then a little bit more to make them more dry, I put them at the end, I put them in the oven on the lowest heat with the open door. And when you get them, there are 2 ways to make that thingy. So you place dead bees in a jar and then you squash them. Let's say you have that mashed potato squasher, the thing to squash mashed potatoes. Do I say correct?
You could say squish.
Yeah, squish. Okay, so you squish like that, or like use the blender, coffee maker, and
Grind them.
Yeah, grind them, and then you place alcohol. You cover them with alcohol, and you just use two weeks, and it's done. So I didn't squash them, and if you don't squash them, you cover them with alcohol and then keep it for a month. So that's how I did. And I got these bees and I got the whole, like, you know, I used the beak so that it will have air, it will breathe. I used the paper bag, the brown paper bag, and I have the whole full brown paper bag, and I froze them. So just I have in my fridge, I have the frozen dead bees, just if I want to use, like, you know, maybe next year if I want to use them. So because that is too much. This is 1 liter. I used 1 liter of alcohol for this. And then later in this video, we're gonna strain that, place in the jars, and then we're gonna, you know, bring to we have a friend that we want to share. So the thing is, how we got the bees, how we got here. Okay, Oscar, start. That was the day. Start with that day when we discovered the bees.
Okay, so I was sitting down, just doing homework, minding my business, and then mother is upstairs, and she says that she hears a lot of bees, like the unusual amount of them, like a whole entire buzzing upstairs. And what actually was is there were like millions of just bees, well
It
actually
was so
thousands.
loud.
There were just thousands of bees just crowding, flying around the
Yeah,
roof.
because I came down and then yelled to Oscar, Oscar, something is going on. I hear something, like, when you hear that noise of the huge swarm, but I don't know where it comes from. I just know it's outside, and I yelled to him. He went outside, and then he comes back and he goes, there's a huge swarm. And then when I went out, oh my goodness, it was really huge. It was like very dark, swarming around our roof, like where the one spot of the house.
Yes, it was about like like 4 gallons of bees that are just flying around, like tons of bees flying around the roof.
They found a crack in our roof, and they made all of them made in. And you know what? Oscar doesn't know something. Right now, it's going to be a confession. I didn't tell you something that day. It's crazy. I have those aromatherapy diffusers, like those diffusers that you use for the essential oils. And Oscar has the lemongrass oil that we have a bait outside of our proper, like far from the house. We have a property, and there's a tree, and Oscar has a bait box for catching wild swarms. That's how he caught a wild swarm earlier this season, right? Remember? And it's doing really good. And so, to attract the scout bees, he sprays there the lemongrass oil. And I have a lot of different essential oils in my house, like maybe 20 different kinds. But that day I was very lazy to go and to get any kind of like oil. But that lemongrass oil was just by my hand because Oscar uses it. So I was lazy to go and grab another different one. I was like, you know what, today I will use this lemongrass. I never thought, because my diffuser is so strong. When I use my diffuser, the aroma fills the whole house. And I realized that that wild swarm got attracted because the lemongrass essential oil has the same scent as the bees' pheromones. And the scout bees, they use those pheromones when the swarm goes away and looks for a new home. The scout bees, they use that scent to attract the whole hive. So that lemongrass thingy actually attracted. It's like, when I go back to that day, I think everything meant to be for me to make this thingy. Because, okay, Oscar, you didn't know that. It was actually kind of like my fault. I used that aroma because when Oscar told me, well, I just wonder why did they choose this place? How did they decided to swarm inside our house? And I told inside my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I used that lemongrass oil and it attracted. Finish.
Well, so that was kind of unexpected, but um, there were bees in the roof, and I didn't really have any experience getting them out of the roof. I only know how to get them out of like a bait box or anything. So I called up a local beekeeper who
Yeah.
helped me.
So now I will interrupt again. Oscar has a good friend and mentor. So 3 years ago, that guy mentored Oscar in the beekeeping. That guy is a monk. We locally here, not far from our house, there is a big and very famous monastery, Orthodox monastery, and there are lots of monks. And it's usually very traditional that monks do the beekeeping. They have their own honey, and so they have a big apiary. And that monk, Father Paises, he mentored Oscar the first year, 3 years ago. And now they kind of like, they kind of like share experiences, because there's stuff that Oscar helps him.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he helps me with some stuff, but then I sometimes help him, like show him how to graft
Yeah,
bees
now
and everything.
Oscar learned something that monk doesn't know, and Oscar comes to him and tells him how he does, let's say, how he grafts queen bees. So and so that monk, he has that special vacuum for the bees, that the one with the 5 gallon bucket that you put on your back.
And he had all the tools to also
And yeah,
disassemble the
yeah,
parts of the roof.
he has that experience. He, like, when somebody has a swarm, he will go and he take the swarms out of the buildings, out of the walls. So he's very good in that. And so we just called him, and we told him the story, and we asked him to come and help us. So now.
So I brought one of my ladders. It was actually a little small. He barely was able to get all the way there, but we were able to vacuum all the bees with the like this vacuum. It is not a strong vacuum. It's like a really slow
I
speed
think
vacuum.
people know what is a bees, how it works. Yeah.
And he vacuumed all of the bees into the vacuum. But what happened is we left the vacuum unventilated, and also there were so many bees inside the vacuum. They all crammed into each other, and there was no ventilation. The thing that I think how it would have been better to prevent it is to leave the vacuum on so that it'll circulate like air through it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will add, like, we didn't really, it was heartbreaking. It was a shock because, so that monk, he got all the bees out. They were all in that bucket, and his experience, like, he did it before. He knows how to use it. So nobody expected that anything will go wrong. He just told Oscar, it was like about maybe noon time, like, early afternoon. So, and that was a very hot summer day. And so he told Oscar to place that vacuum, that the 5 gallon bucket full of bees in the shade, and then keep them until late evening, and then to place them into the nook. And Oscar, because he's a kid, and all the kids are not patient, so he just decided 1 hour, because the monk told him to come back in the evening, late evening. But Oscar, 1 hour later, just decided as a kid, like, that's a good thing. I'm saying how it's really good for what happened. He decided to check how they're doing. And then he opens and he sees, like, there are too much bees, and they were all, like, like, kind of like
Crammed into each other.
yeah, and they were dying. He saw that they already, like, were losing their vitals. So he tried to do stuff like help. He transferred them to the.
Well, they were already dead when I came.
Yeah.
I still kind of put them into a nuke because I didn't
Tried.
know what to do.
He gave a chance. He tried to save them. He tried
But
to do
I
something.
knew that nothing will probably happen.
Yeah, and so it was really unexpected, because the monk told us to do what he usually does, and he never had problems, and we did. But Oscar says probably, and then
also that swarm wasn't like the biggest one I have ever caught, but it just was in a bucket, and this bucket actually it has a lid and then a area that you could open the lid and you could put a screen, and that screen thing that was there, it didn't close the bucket, but it had a screen, but it like the screen covers like 50% of the bucket, so there was only half as much of space in the bucket.
So yeah, we got the experience that this can happen for, like, for the future life. Oscar now knows, he learned a lesson that this can happen. So he says probably he should have left the vacuum on so that the air will be circulating. Yeah. And now, like, the monk told me so, and I was, like, really very upset, sad, like, losing this big hive. And he goes, like, make a Podmor. And I said, oh yeah, because I honestly, for many years, it was kind of like my dream. I really wanted to make a Podmor, but you know what? I want to make it right. I always wanted to make a real one, not using the bees that died because they were sick, or through the winter, because that's the low, they have low vitality. That the Podmor, it will also work, but it's not going to be as potent as you have the really very healthy hive, very healthy bees with the very high vitals, and then you just kill them and you make that Podmor with that. So, and I told that monk that, well, probably that was meant to be everything that happened, starting from when I used that diffuser with the lemongrass oil. So maybe probably it just meant to be. And so um, then we brought that bucket with the bees, spread in this table, and then I told you what happened next. So now I have this 3 jars. I used one small, and you know what? Honestly, for Podmore, you don't you don't use as much bees. You know, when the recipes say, when you scroll through the recipes, it just say, well, like, you know, you need this amount of bees and then cover with alcohol. So, but I use all. This is all dead bees, which means it's just gonna be very, very potent. It's gonna be very concentrated, and I would use it, like, you know, when you have this pipette and you just use the tinctures, like herbal tinctures and stuff, you dissolve in the water. I think I will just, you know, use just 1 or 2 drops, dissolve in water and drink. So, because it's too potent. And, you know, as the herbal medicine or homeopathy, um, this is this kind of like same thing. Just Google it. So what I'm gonna do now is I have to strain my bees, and after I strain them, I will just put here, and let's see. I really want to see the color of the tune. You want to see? You see, these are all those bees. I'm not gonna smell because it's alcohol.
Looks
They-
like mud.
Yeah, wanna smell
No.
it? Yeah, it's very strong. The alcohol is strong. So, that's what
I
I'm
can
doing.
feel it from here.
Yeah. Later.
It's a more appetizing color than it looks.
Yeah. Later, yeah, actually. Um, I'll just keep it like this somewhere in the kitchen so that I get it all. But right now, because I want to make it a little bit faster for just the video,
You mean live stream?
yeah, for the live stream, because I'm live streaming, I don't want to make it too long, take too much time. I'll just finish now. And I have another strainer just in case, because there's some little small parts that are here, but they're just on the bottom. So I have this jar, clean jar, and I'm gonna just do like this. Why? Okay, good. Really good.
Looks like something more
Look
appetizing.
at that.
Looks like a soda.
You know, this will last for a very long time. Why? Because it is so concentrated. As I said, here, you see the bees, they are right through the whole, like, you know, like really very concentrated. So you don't need, like, you don't drink it like a shot, because too much medicine is also no good. We also have to remember that medicine, the line between medicine and poison is the dosage. So the medicine, usually, to make it medicine, the dosage has to be low, because if you make it more than it's supposed to be, then it will become poison. So as I said, I can show right now. Oskar, talk right now for a second.
Okay, so um, looks like something I would drink as a soda. I don't know. So
Let me see if I have it.
if you're wondering, my bees are doing good. I have a lot of boxes right there, just right where you don't see them on the table, other table. A couple of boxes, and they're full of frames with honey.
Oh yeah, right here. Like I can show.
Oh, this is just the honey, not the boxes with the frames. This is just the honey.
Yeah, the frame. But yeah, Oskar has his honey right here, like all of these jars, and he has a lot. He has really a lot of them. Like this is just one box, and he has here like a few, like 3 boxes, and he has much more. So yeah.
Frames, and I have a bucket full of
The
honey.
thing is that we don't really sell honey because we live in the middle of nowhere. We don't know how to sell, like here, like I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do with all this honey. It's a lot of honey, and we don't have really much friends or family to share the honey. So whatever, yeah, we'll figure out. So this is my pipette from just a different tincture, and what I'm gonna do is I'll just use this pipette. So what I will do, I will have this. Well, I can open.
The dog is barking.
This is water, and how I'm gonna use my tincture is just like this amount, and then just put it in the water, and then drink.
Bon appetit.
Thank you. It smells. The smell is so strong. Here you go. So cool. Can I show something else what Oskar did for me? Oskar is like, yeah, he does so much stuff.
Oh, my pollen.
Yeah, Oskar made me the pollen.
It's not a bit. I just kept it there for a couple of days. It's
Yeah.
not too much.
He has his the pollen collector, and
I just put it on for 2 days.
so he keeps the bees, and he gets all the products and everything, and then I just play with all of that stuff in the kitchen and teach Oskar, share with him those folk recipes, old wives' tales and stuff. And okay, so just Google, read, and then next time you have the dead bees, well, use an opportunity, because I know how frustrating it is. I know how heartbreaking it is, and how sad we become when we lose bees. But then just turn it around and use it as an opportunity. At least don't throw them away, but just use them for this. Because if I wouldn't have these bees, and if I don't have choice, I would actually use the bees that die through the winter, because it's better than nothing. Because Podmor, it has its very high patent properties from different specters. First of all, it's the bee poison that's inside the bees, and so when the bees die, the poison is inside them. So when you make the tincture, those chemicals, additional good chemicals that we use, they extract into the alcohol. But if you just get the bee which already stung you and doesn't have a stinger, it means that bee doesn't have a poison, so it's not that medicinal for making a tincture. Then there's other different chemicals in their intestines, in their body parts, that are very medicinal. That's why we make the alcohol tincture. We extract those things. And then on the spiritual level, if you believe in how homeopathy works. Homeopathic medicine, it doesn't have the matter of the subject. It has like the spirit, and because that's why people call it placebo. Because actually, like if you make the homeopathic medicine from the poisonous plant, and if you just make the chemistry like the lab test, you don't find any particles of that plant. So then how does it work? Homeopathic medicine has like kind of like the vital energy of the plant, and so with the piece like with this Podmor, it also, so it uses the energy than the chemistry, like the, so okay, I hope you understand. Asking how did they do? Was I confusing?
Understandable probably for some people.
Okay,
Hopefully.
so but I hope it will be useful, because I really wanted to share that experience, and hopefully somebody will use this recipe.
Yeah, the one person that's watching.
Okay, yeah, but look, you have 4 legs. Okay, bye guys. That was Oskar the Beekeeper and his mom. Okay, you want to turn off?
Okay.
Yeah, excellent. Just